It was American gymnast Mary Lou Retton who said, "A trophy carries dust, memories last forever." So will the Cricket World Cup 2023. While it starts carrying dust, there are learnings that will last. Let's get straight into the 10 learnings from this World Cup. 1. Turning point, or in today's parlance, game changer. For Australia, who started with 2 straight losses, a catch was the turning point. If you thought Travis Head's catch to dismiss Rohit Sharma, no. That was only a turning point in the final. The turning point in this World Cup was a catch taken by David Warner against Sri Lanka, at which point Sri Lanka were 0 for 125 in the 22nd over. It looked like a third defeat and a tipping point for Australia, out of the World Cup. That's when David Warner, who was patrolling the deep mid-wicket, ran some 20 meters to catch Pathum Nissanka off Pat Cummins. That was Australia's catching catalyst, after the team had dropped 7 catches earlier. Australia had lost to India by 6 wickets, to South Africa by 134 runs, and were 0 for 125 against Sri Lanka when Warner took the catch. Australia won that match and every match thereafter, including the final. Talk of turning points. What have been your turning points in life, in your career, in business, ours as a nation? 2. Being a good sport. There's winning and losing in sports, but more importantly, what it teaches us is to become a good sport. Thousands of Indian spectators leaving the ground many overs before the final ball was bowled, and glum Indian faces all around after what was an enjoyable and gripping mind game exposed us for what we are. We are really in sports only for winning. Quite like our education, which has come to mean only cracking the joint entrance examination or the civil service examination. Something that can be bought off the streets in Kota, Rajasthan. 3. Heart versus head. Passion and emotion can take us some way, but beyond that, it is calculated planning, a flawless execution, and a cool head that takes us the full distance. Andrew Miller wrote on Cricinfo, "India may be where the heart of the game now resides, but the coolest head has once again been shown to be Australian. Travis Head, to be precise." Perhaps seeing how heartbroken we were, the Australians decided to celebrate at the hotel instead of at the stadium. I asked Dubai-based cricket writer K.R. Nair, who has covered 14 World Cup cricket finals, that must be a record in itself, why do you think there was no victory lap by the Australians?
The victory lap did not happen basically because nearly 70% of the spectators walked away as soon as India lost. Another reason could be that Travis Head, after completing his century, the only people who gave him a standing ovation was the Australian team. There was actually total silence and only a few clapped. So the Australians must have decided not to have a lap and even get booed. So it was unsporting.
You have covered so many World Cup finals. Has there ever been an incident where the winning team did not take a victory lap? And what is the learning from this? What is the message to our spectators?
It is understood that you would be sad, but you have to clap. You have to appreciate the winner. And being a host country, that we should have done that. But Ahmedabad did not do that. It's unfortunate. And Australians did not do a victory lap purely because of that. They knew that there will be no claps. And why should you do it for a crowd that did not clap for them, but only wanted their team to win?
4. Imprisoned by emotion. Think of sportsmen crying after losing a match. Vinod Kambli comes to mind. Against Sri Lanka, Eden Gardens, 1996. This week it was Mohammad Siraj's turn. Siraj in tears, Rohit fails to control his, Kohli buries face after India's gut-wrenching World Cup final defeat, says the Hindustan Times. For what? They are such heroes actually. Tears of joy one can understand, but crying for losing? That's such a great disservice to the winner. Perhaps they cry out of fear that their equally over-emotional fans will pelt stones at their houses or abuse them online. 5. Tough to tell the truth. If you ask me, this was perhaps the most boring World Cup cricket championship ever, going by the number of one-sided matches. Of the 48 matches, 45.5 were one-sided. The 2.5 exciting ones were Australia versus New Zealand, Australia versus Afghanistan, the Glenn Maxwell heroics, and half of the final. But sorry, the mainstream media couldn't tell you this because there was so much advertising money involved, and media runs on ad money. Geometric View can tell you this because this channel has no corporate funding yet. And how many watched the final from the stadium? You probably heard the number 132,000, but Cricinfo reported the official attendance at 92,453, some 40,000 less than projected. 6. Good at cricketing and rocketry. The two things we are really good at were underlined once again within a span of just 3 months: cricket and rockets. Chandrayaan's Vikram lander touched down on the moon surface on August 23rd, and our cricketers played yet another World Cup final on November 19th. Our cricketers and rocket scientists are truly world class. There's a lot our nation can learn from them. 7. Respect for rules. One big thing about sport is that it offers a level playing field for everyone, and everybody must respect the rules. Sri Lanka's Angelo Matthews became the first batsman in World Cup history to be timed out. World Cup rules say that when a wicket falls or on the retirement of a batsman, the next batter must be ready for the ball in 2 minutes. Matthews wasn't. To make it worse, he came with a helmet with a faulty strap. Not done. Where do we find faulty straps and no helmets? On our roads. Play good cricket to learn these basics. 8. Sport as a lifeline. When politics or religion ruin a nation, sport can be a veritable lifeline. Look at Afghanistan. A nation stricken by every sort of affliction, political, social, economic. What joy their cricketers have brought them over the past 2 months. Afghanistan defeated England, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, all former world champions, and nearly beat Australia, the eventual champions. Even the tens of thousands waiting on the Afghan-Pakistan border for deportation into Afghanistan would have cheered. 9. Cricket gurus, Vishwaguru. This World Cup featured 2 outstanding coaches, both with a near professorial bearing. Australia's Andrew McDonald, only 42 years, and India's Rahul Dravid, older at 50 years. Both had the challenge of managing plenty of talent, which is not easy. Both went about their job so quietly and so professionally, neither having to shout from the rooftop, "I'm the Vishwaguru," and yet taking their teams to the top. When you do a great job, you don't have to make a great fuss. And 10. Global stage, global issues. When the world is a global village, its varied issues will also transcend national borders. So no surprise that the Palestine issue was brought onto the World Cup stage by serial pitch invader Ben Johnson, running in with a "Stop Bombing Palestine" t-shirt. Expect more of these. To sum up, we are fantastic at cricket. The next challenge is to learn how to be a good sport. This episode of Geometric View salutes the best fielder medal idea that the Indian team had after every match. India's fielding coach T. Dilip made it even more interesting by using creative methods to give away the medal, like getting the groundsman in the Chinnaswamy Stadium, Bengaluru, to announce the medal, and getting the spider cam at Dharamshala to deliver the medal. Even the heartbreak in the final did not stop the best fielder medal. It went to Virat Kohli.